Hey, what's going on guys? Killer6 back with another video for you, and today I want to show you my Athena build and offer you the game save so that you can play as this character yourself. Now, the game save will require that you are on PC, and I do recommend playing on the PC community patch because this game is so much better on the community patch, so huge thanks to Raven Jim and everybody else who has worked on the community patch, just as a short little thank you there. Alright, so what makes this build so good? Well, number one, here's the skill tree, in case you want to take a gander at that. Let me move her out of the way somewhat so you can see this. There you go. That's about as good as that's going to get. Alright, so what makes this build so good? In my opinion, what makes this build so good is this tree. This tree right here is freaking amazing. Storm Weaving. When you swap weapons, you gain Storm Weaving, increases your fire rate, elemental effect for a short duration. So you get a bonus 250% elemental effect chance, gain 75% fire rate. Now this is with class mod, obviously, because we have 10 out of 4 there. And the duration is 9 seconds. That is a long duration for something like this. It's a very, very powerful opening skill. On top of that, you add Maelstrom. Now this is what gives you your stacks. So dealing incendiary or shock damage, so either fire or electric damage. You do those kind of damages to enemies and you're gaining stacks of Maelstrom. All elemental damage dealt is increased for each stack of Maelstrom. Stacks will decay over time, and they do decay fast. However, you will build them super fast as well. Alright, now down to the next tree, you've got Gathering Tempest, which increases your mag size, reload speed. This one isn't exactly crucial, so you can swap this for anything that you want. I do like having that mag size personally, but it's not really, again, necessary. Conduit. While you have at least one electrocute elemental effect active, you regenerate a percentage of your shields every second for each stack that you have. So ideally what you want to do with this is you want to throw yourself a storm front into a crowd of enemies, or, you know, find some other way to constantly be doing some sort of electrocute damage to enemies, and while you're doing that, your shield regenerates, and it will do very well. Especially if you have a bunch of Maelstrom stacks, which that's the whole idea of this build, is you want to keep those Maelstrom stacks up as high as possible, as long as possible. Alright, up next we got Unrelenting. This is a kill skill. Killing an enemy increases your weapon swap speed and fire rate for each stack of Maelstrom. So you get a really quick weapon swap speed bonus and fire rate bonus, you know, considering you're going to have a lot of stacks built up all the time. Smite. While you are airborne, shooting an enemy will smite them, causing incendiary and shock damage in a small area. Smite damage increases as you accumulate more stacks of Maelstrom. This ability has a cooldown. Cooldown is 8 seconds. This one, again, not super necessary, but while you're airborne, if you're going to shoot some stuff, then you might as well, you know, hit them with this. It's going to give you some more stacks. It's going to keep the Maelstrom stacks up. Again, you could easily substitute the 5 points here, or, you know, a few points from this, and even the point from that, and build these up even higher if you want. Now, having said that, Superconductor. The Aspis shield has a chance to shock nearby enemies when struck. When this occurs, you gain bonus stacks. I mean, you're capped on the number of stacks that you're going to get from this. So this one's not one that I think is really even crucial at all. But I went ahead and put some points into it because I didn't really have any other place that I wanted to put it. Overload. When you kill an enemy who is electrocuted or burning, there's a chance for the status effect to chain to nearby enemies. Realistically, you can max this thing out. It's not going to matter that much. The chance to spread, whether it's 36 or 50%, you know, it's up to you whether you want to, you know, put the extra points in this or not. But again, you could drop points from this just as easily and throw it in here. That's fine. Right here you have Zeus's Rage. When you throw the Aspis, a devastating fire and lightning storm will spawn at the target location, dealing damage to those caught in the storm for several seconds. The damage of the storm increases based on the amount of damage absorbed by the Aspis. So this right here is in conjunction with the skills over in this tree. So you want to be absorbing as much damage. You want to keep your Aspis on all the way to the last second. Absorb as much damage as you can with it, and then when you throw this thing, you're going to deal a good bit of fire and lightning storm damage at the initial source of the attack. Alright, Elemental Barrage while Storm Weaving is active, which is again this one right here, and you should be able to keep this thing active almost all the time. Almost all the time. You get 9 seconds to switch to another weapon, and then switch back to another weapon after that 9 seconds, then switch to another weapon after that 9 seconds. I mean, just count to 7 in your mind every time you switch weapons, and that's good enough. You know what I mean? Alright, so while storm weaving is active, your weapons have a chance to not consume ammo. This is a awesome skill. Awesome skill. This chance is increased for every Maelstrom stack that you have. So your base free shot chance is 30%. So you've almost got like a 1 in 3 chance right off the bat to not consume ammo. And then you get a bunch of stacks build up. You get like, 300 to 700 stacks build up. All of a sudden, your chance to not absorb or not to use ammo is closer to 50 to 60%. It's ridiculously good. Highly recommend this combined with this, combined with this, this, and this. These things are all great. There are several skills here that aren't super important, like gathering tempest. Not the most important thing in the world. It's really nice having that mag size and reload speed though. The smite, not crucial. Zeus's rage is pretty cool because it's only 1 point, and it's same with that. These are only 1 point, and you generally have a fair bit of points. All right, now, so the capstone for this tree is Hades Shackle. Slamming links you to nearby enemies with a short tether. With a shock tether for a short duration, electrocuting them. The tether is broken if you lose line of sight to the target enemy. Any enemies still tethered at the end of the duration or who die while tethered release an incendiary nova, and you gain bonus Maelstrom stacks for each enemy affected. This ability has a cooldown, so you get a bonus 20 stacks per target. The tether duration 6 seconds. The cooldown's 8 seconds. Honestly, I don't find this one to be even really that useful, but again, it's just 1 point. If you're going to be butt slamming things anyhow, this is great for mobbing. So, but yeah, the main perks over here: storm weaving, maelstrom, conduit to keep your shield up all the time, unrelenting, which is a kill skill, so kill something small, and then while your thing is up for that, murder everything else in sight. Elemental barrage. And overload, which is pretty nice too. All right, in our middle tree, these are some bonus things here. Now, this is generally considered the melee tree right here from Athena, but in this tree, you can also find gun kata, which gives you increased gun damage. Additionally, your melee damage is increased for a short duration after shooting an enemy. The melee damage part is not important at all to this build whatsoever. The gun damage 25% is. And then in the next tree down, you deal increased damage to any enemy with less than 50% of their max health remaining. So basically anything that you get under half health, you're going to be doing an extra 35% damage to it. So this is 10 skill points to do this. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it in my opinion. All right, now over in this tree, the phalanx tree, you want to use the F-O-Dose. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it's F-O-Dose. F-O-Dose, which increases movement speed and gun damage while holding the Aspis. The gun damage part is pretty cool. Movement speed's not crucial, but it's nice to be able to move fast. In the next tree, this is where you can throw some of these points from these other things that maybe you don't want to spend points on. If you want to. Vanguard, while the Aspis is active, you and your friends, nearby friends, regenerate health. The more damage absorbed, the more health regenerated. It's not great, but it does regenerate some health for you while your shield's up. This one extends the duration for which the Aspis can be active before it's automatically thrown. So, I mean, if you max this out, then you gain, an extra second or two extra seconds. Generally, I take so much damage in that first 3 seconds that I don't find the extra 2 seconds matters that much to me. But, maybe you'll, decide to go differently on that. Prismatic Aegis. This one stores the elemental damage type. So, say enemies are shooting you with fire, it absorbs the fire damage. If they shoot you with, cryo, it absorbs that, etc., etc. And then you deal that damage back to them when you throw it. So, pretty cool. Again, it's just 1 point. It's easy perk to take. United Front is damage absorbed by the Aspis now recharges the shields of you and your teammates. So combine United Front with Conduit, and hopefully your shields stay up pretty good with those two skills. We didn't put anything in Clear, and we didn't put anything in Stalwart. just not crucial for my build. Same thing with Prepare for Glory. This thing builds you stacks of Prepare for Glory, which can increase your gun damage, but even maxed out, it's not enough gun damage to warrant that 5 points, in my opinion. Alright, Return Fire. While active, it has a chance to reflect incoming lasers and bullets while still absorbing their energy. So you're still going to get that energy absorption, which allows you to, do damage with other things, and also regenerate health, etc. But you have a 50% chance to actually reflect their bullets as well, so that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And then the capstone over here is Wrath of the Goddess. This is basically throw your shield, watch it bounce around against everybody's head. You can kill a lot of easy mob dudes with this thing, and a lot of times if you go into fight for your life while you're holding the Aspis, your shield will just go out and whack something and get you out of fight for your life. So it's a really cool skill to have. So that is the build that I went with toward end game. Again, there's things here and there that you can adjust, change to your liking, what have you. Now, in terms of the gear for her, you can mess around with a lot of different things and make a lot of different things work. What I generally liked using was the splitters, the TDR splitters, because you get 6 projectiles with this instead of the usual, 3 or 4 with the other splitters. So very powerful. This one has the high loop chance plus the high multi-shot chance, so enjoy that. Then we have a Win-Win Lady Fist. This one has a chance to ignore enemy shields. We got a practicable Company Man. This thing is amazing. A lot of people prefer the Torg stock on this thing for whatever reason. I find that Hyperion just stays more accurate for me. Feel free to tinker around with the stuff to your liking. We've got the Machine Sniper Rifle, and we have all of these in multiple elements. We got this in Fire, Shock, and Corrosive, I believe. Let's see, sort it by... forget what we can sort these by. Let's just do it this way. Okay, we got Fire, or Shock and Fire. Yeah, I think I just did Shock and Fire on most things, because honestly, with her, you don't want to be using other elements that much. I mean, sure, if you're fighting RK5, yeah, get you something corrosive, sure, do that. In terms of the other weapons, we got a different splitter here that's fire. We got a donk, because you gotta have a donk in your inventory, right? I mean, you have to. Min Lighter, which on the community patch isn't half bad. Low level Logan's gun. This is a level 6 Logan's gun. This would be to do the Moonscaper jumping if you want to do that. I'm sure you guys have watched Jolt's Dude, you know that he does that, and he does it very well. I don't do it so well. Got a Thunderfire. This thing right here, honest to goodness, is one of the best items in the game for Athena, and yeah, it's pretty dope. It does a combination of fire and shock damage. Alright, what else we got? We got a Barragan. We got this from a chubby enemy. I just decided to keep it in the build. Clever Bada Boom. If you build up a bunch of Maelstrom stacks and then throw this thing on so you have a reduced chance to consume ammo, you can wipe out EOS, Irajira, whoever you want. Sentinel, they all die so fast to this thing because you're basically be shooting rockets at 1,000 miles an hour and not using ammo. It's great. Thorny Old Rosie, Miss Moxie's Vibra Pulse. There's the Lady Fist I was talking about. Old Painful if you want to mess around with that. Shock Machine, Practicable Company Man and shock damage. The Hard Moonscaper, so if you want to jump and shoot the Moonscaper at your feet 3 times, then shoot it with a Logan's gun, you go flying across the map, which is great for traveling fast. The Fast Talker, in one of my videos, you probably saw me shooting things with this gun. When you have a bunch of stacks of Maelstrom and you use this gun, stuff melts. Stuff melts hard, bro. But this thing is still, I mean, it's honestly outmatched by like the interface, or not the interfacers, but the company men in terms of having a bunch of stacks and killing stuff. So yeah, and then there's the other splitter. All right, now in terms of the shield, I only put one shield on here, and that's the Bulwark. You could also go farm yourself a Shield of Ages. Shield of Ages is very good on her as well, but I highly enjoy the Bulwark, plus it has that 95% chance to absorb lasers. We got a Raging Storm class mod. We also have a Celestial Gladiator class mod if you want to go, you know, just mob style, and a Surging Storm class mod, which gives you a higher Unrelenting than Stormweaving. I generally prefer the Stormweaving for most situations. Now, one thing that I discovered that is great for Athena is the Moonlight Saga. So as you are doing damage, this is buffed on the community patch, by the way. So if you try to use this on the base game, it might not work quite as well. I'm not sure, but my recollection of how good the Moonlight Saga was on console was that it just wasn't that good. But on here, it's great. On here, as I shoot and injure things, I get lifesteal. I get a lot of health back. So when you saw me fight EOS in my final day, this is what was keeping me alive. Alright, but it also included, I've got an Ack if you want to deal with flying enemies. This thing's great. Got an Eddy, which is widely considered to be the best all-around O2 kit in the game. And I got a bomber kit, so if you want to have those free grenades, jump in the air, throw grenades to your heart's content. Alright, in terms of the grenades, I've only got 2. I've got a level 70 Stormfront, which is this is perfect. And then I've got a level 10 Stormfront, which is perfect, but only level 10. Now the reason for the level 10 is so you can build stacks without having to worry about killing yourself. Again, if you watched me play, then you know that the number one thing that killed me over and over and over again was my own Stormfront. I died more to my own Stormfront than to enemies, without a doubt. So if you are worried about that and you're just using the grenade strictly to get stacks, then use the low level one. If you're using the grenade to actually kill mobs and things like that, make sure you keep your distance. Play smarter than I do, which doesn't take a whole lot of work, honestly, but make sure you play smarter than I do. Alright, so now we're going to go down here and kill Irajira just to show you guys how good this build is. I'm going to throw on the Thunderfire, I think, and have some fun with this thing. Where's it at? Where's my Thunderfire? Thunder. There we go. Alright. So, again, you want to constantly be switching your weapons. See my little tornado thing right above the word raging underneath my level and stuff? Every time you see that getting close, switch to another weapon. You're going to keep your fire rate up, etc., etc. Alright, so first thing you want to do in a fight like this is go ahead and get up close and personal. Start hitting him with these storm fronts. And make sure you don't hit yourself with these storm fronts. Get your shield up. Swap weapons, and start doing some damage. And as you can see, we're about to run out of the storm weaving. We swap weapons. And he has knocked me all the way across the map. Let's get some more grenades out here. Swap weapons. Use the company man for a second. And as you can see, massive amounts of damage in a very short amount of time. This is the level 70 version, by the way. And again, as you see, I almost killed myself with my own Stormfront, so that was always my number one cause of concern and problems. But yeah, that is the build, that is how it works. As you guys have seen during my playthrough, we melted the Sentinel, the Invisible Sentinel. We had no trouble with EOS. Matter of fact, we killed him twice because I was trying to do some read-only farming, and that didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. And I ended up having to fight him again. But again, we had no problem the second time either. So yeah, that's the build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then take a second to click that like button. Down in the description of this video, there is a link that will take you to the game save. If you're on PC, download the game save, put it into your Willow Game saves folder. I don't have a video on how to do that. There are plenty of videos out there if you want to look up how to download and install game saves for Borderlands. It's the same process for the pre-sequel. But yeah, and if you guys have not yet done so, please come check out the live streams. I stream every weekday, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern time. And I know that's not a great time for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are in school or whatever. But if you get a chance, come hang out, have some fun. We've been having some pretty big audiences lately, and it's been a great time. The road to Randomizer Salvador is what's going on right now. Next week, we will start the road to Ultimate Gauge. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.